Welcome to The Explainer. Ever wondered if you could create a news channel that basically runs itself and makes money all without ever showing your face on camera? Well, today we're breaking down a pretty fascinating method that claims you can do exactly that, using a whole suite of free online tools.
It sounds a little wild, right? The idea that anyone can just spin up a content channel without doing any original reporting or even appearing on screen. But the strategy we're digging into today says, yep, you absolutely can. So let's pull back the curtain and see how this whole thing is supposed to work.
So, the fundamental concept here is to create a YouTube channel that's less like a traditional newsroom and, honestly, more like an assembly line. It's all about taking news stories that are already trending and just repurposing them into new video content as fast as possible. Right, so the goal here isn't journalism in the classic sense. Not at all. It's about building a low-effort, high-volume content factory. The whole model runs without you needing to be an expert on anything because you're just relying on the tools to do all the heavy lifting. Okay, so first things first, where do the stories even come from? Well, this process doesn't start with a reporter's hunch or some brilliant idea. Nope, it starts with raw, unfiltered search data. And here's the heart of the content engine. It's a really powerful one-two punch. First, you use Google Trends to find out what millions of people are literally searching for right now. Then, you take that topic and have ChatGPT instantly write a script about it. It's pretty slick. Now, this is a super important detail. The method says you have to change the filter in Google Trends from the default, which is relevance, over to search volume. Why? Because you want to chase the topics with the biggest possible audience. Think about it. You'd rather target a term with 5 million searches than one with just 200,000. You're going where the crowd is. So, once you found that high-volume trend, you just find a news article that's already been written about it. That article's URL, that becomes the raw material for the next step. You're basically feeding a specific published piece of content directly to the AI for processing. And get this, the prompt recommended for ChatGPT is incredibly simple. It's just this phrase, you paste the URL you copied right after it, and that's it. The AI reads the source article and then generates a brand new, rewritten script based on that content. Just like that, you've got a unique text to work with. All right, we've got our script. Now the next phase is all about turning that text into the actual audio and visuals for our video. This is where the words on the page start to become a real piece of media. For the voiceover, the recommended tool is a free text-to-speech feature that's built right into an editor called Clipchamp. Now, you could use paid options like ElevenLabs, but Clipchamp is singled out because its quality is surprisingly good for a no-cost tool. There is one clever little workaround you need to know about, though. And here's that little workaround. You just paste your script in and pick a voice. The source suggests US English for a professional sound. But here's the catch. Since Clipchamp is a video editor, it exports your audio as a video file. It's a bit weird, I know, but don't worry, we're going to deal with that in the final editing stage. Okay, now for the fun part, the visuals. We need footage to show while our AI voice is talking. This is what's called B-roll, and it's what's going to keep the viewer's eyes on the screen. The strategy here is to pull from all over the place. You grab different styles of footage from a few platforms, maybe some longer clips from YouTube, some quick user-generated reactions from TikTok, and even the static images from the original source article. The idea is to mix it all up to make the final video feel way more dynamic. All right, it's time to put it all together. This is the final edit, where all the audio and visual bits and pieces we've collected get combined into a finished product, using, you guessed it, another free tool. So the video assembly is all done in an editor called CapCut. It's chosen specifically because, number one, it's free, and number two, it has a really low learning curve. We're talking simple drag and drop stuff that just about anyone can figure out. So here's how it all comes together in CapCut. First, you import everything. Then you use this magic extract audio feature to just pull the narration right out of that Clipchamp video file. After that, you can just delete the blank video it leaves behind. From there, you just layer all your visuals on top of the audio track, and this is important, make sure you mute their original sound. And just like that, you've got a visual slideshow perfectly synchronized to your AI narration. And here's a really nice little pro tip from the source for dealing with those vertical TikTok clips. Instead of leaving those ugly black bars on the sides of the screen, you use a feature called Blur Canvas. It fills that empty space with a blurred, expanded version of the clip itself, which just makes everything look a whole lot more polished. Okay, but how does this whole assembly line actually make you any money? Well, the business model here isn't just about making videos. It's about understanding YouTube's monetization system and using a very specific strategy to maximize it. The number you gotta remember is 8, as in 8 minutes. See, according to the source, YouTube lets creators put more ads on videos that are longer than 8 minutes. And, as you can probably guess, more ads means more potential revenue from each video. And this brings us to the big challenge with this whole strategy. The videos that this automated method spits out are going to be based on single news articles, which means they're almost always going to be super short, way under that magic 8-minute mark. So the proposed solution isn't to try and make longer videos. Nope. Instead, you lean into the speed of the process and you just compensate with sheer volume. The strategy is to upload 10 to 15 different short videos every single day, just repeating this entire workflow over and over. The goal is to make up for low revenue per video with a massive number of videos. You know, this whole method really highlights a massive trend: fully automated content creation. And the real takeaway here isn't just about a potential side hustle. It leaves us with a much bigger question to chew on. What does the future of information look like when anyone with just a few free tools can become a high-volume news publisher? That is something to think about.